Do you remember the fearless world of the professionals? It looked like nothing could ever break Bodie, Doyle, or Cowley, until real life did. Behind television's toughest crime fighters were heartbreaking losses, silent battles with deadly disease, and final years far darker than anything the writers ever imagined. Nearly 50 years later, here's what the cast looks like in 2026, and some of them are almost impossible to recognize. Martin Shaw as Doyle. Firstly, we have Martin Shaw, who portrayed Doyle, the quick-witted, fearless, and charismatic CI5 agent when he was just 32 years old in 1977. Born on January 21, 1945 in Birmingham, England, he brought youthful energy, sharp instincts, and undeniable screen presence that turned Doyle into one of British television's most iconic action heroes. The role launched him to international fame and established him as one of the defining stars of the series. As of 2026, Martin Shaw is 81 years old and continues to be admired after a career spanning more than 6 decades. Beyond the professionals, he earned widespread acclaim starring in Inspector George Gently and received Tony Award and Drama Desk Award nominations in 1996 for his acclaimed stage performance in A Man for All Seasons. Although he appears less frequently today, he remains one of Britain's most respected actors. The years following his greatest success were far from easy. Shaw has openly dealt with serious hearing problems and chronic fatigue, conditions that became especially alarming when he suddenly collapsed on stage during a theatrical performance, forcing him to reconsider the pace of his career. His personal life also brought repeated heartbreak through 3 failed marriages before he eventually found lasting companionship with Karen De Silva. Despite those setbacks, Shaw never abandoned acting, continuing to build an extraordinary resume across television, theater, and film, while proving that resilience, not fame, became the defining quality of his remarkable life. Gordon Jackson as George Cowley. Coming to George Cowley, the disciplined and highly respected leader of CY5, was played by Gordon Jackson. Born on December 19, 1923 in Glasgow, Scotland, he was 54 years old when he gave Cowley remarkable composure, wisdom, and unwavering authority, making him the moral compass behind every dangerous mission. His commanding performance became the heart of all 57 episodes and firmly established both the series and his place among Britain's greatest television actors. Sadly, Gordon Jackson passed away on January 15, 1990, at the age of 66 in London after losing his battle with bone cancer. He spent his final days surrounded by his wife of more than 30 years, actress Rona Anderson, and their 2 sons. His passing brought an emotional end to a career that had inspired generations of television viewers across Britain and beyond. That farewell carried even greater weight because it closed the chapter on an extraordinary lifetime of achievement. Jackson had earned international acclaim years earlier by winning the 1976 Primetime Emmy Award for Upstairs, Downstairs, and in 1979 he was appointed an Officer of the Order of the British Empire for his contributions to drama. Audiences also remembered him from acclaimed productions such as The Great Escape, 1963, and Whiskey Galore, proving his remarkable range long before the professionals. Even as illness gradually forced him away from the screen, his dignity, professionalism, and unforgettable portrayal of George Cowley ensured that his legacy would endure long after his final performance. Lewis Collins as Bodie Lewis Collins, who portrayed Bodie, the fearless, hard-hitting CI5 field agent, when he was just 31 years old in 1977. Born on May 27, 1946, in Bidston, Cheshire, England, he gave Bodie a rugged confidence, physical toughness, and fearless attitude that made him the perfect partner for Doyle. His performance helped create one of British television's most iconic action duos and secured his place in the history of the genre. Sadly, Lewis Collins passed away on November 27, 2013, at the age of 67 after a 5-year battle with bladder cancer. He died peacefully at his home in Los Angeles, California, surrounded by his wife, Michelle Larratt, and their 3 sons. His passing marked the loss of one of Britain's most recognizable television action stars. That final goodbye reflected the determination that had defined his entire career. Collins never stopped pursuing demanding roles, earning international recognition with the military action film Who Dares Wins, 1982, where his real-life military training and physical discipline brought unusual authenticity to the screen. Even after relocating to Los Angeles, he continued pursuing acting opportunities while quietly enduring years of treatment as his illness gradually weakened his body. Although his life ended far too soon, Bodie remains one of the most enduring action heroes in British television, and Collins' fearless screen presence continues to inspire audiences decades later. Bridget Brice as Betty, the loyal and efficient secretary who kept CE5 headquarters running smoothly throughout the series, was portrayed by Bridget Brice. Born on January 30th, 1942, she brought warmth, professionalism, and quiet confidence that balanced the show's intense action when she was already 36 years old. Her performance made Betty far more than an office assistant, giving CI5 a dependable presence that audiences quickly came to appreciate. As of 2026, Bridget Brice is 84 years old and has stepped away from acting to live a quieter life in the United Kingdom. After decades in entertainment, she successfully transitioned into work as a communication coach and psychological consultant. Although age-related osteoarthritis has made walking increasingly painful, she continues focusing on physiotherapy and enjoys a peaceful retirement surrounded by her family. Her later years reflect the same resilience that shaped her career. Brice built an impressive resume long before and after The Professionals, appearing in Mel Brooks' The 12 Chairs, 1970, and performing in numerous respected West End productions that showcased her versatility on stage. Rather than remaining in the spotlight, she chose a completely different path by helping others develop confidence and communication skills through coaching. While her mobility has gradually declined with age, she continues to face those challenges with quiet determination, proving that her greatest strength has always been her ability to adapt and move forward. Pat Gorman as CI5 agent/police superintendent. Pat Gorman portrayed several CI5 agents and senior police officers across 5 episodes of The Professionals when he was already 45 years old. Born on May 10, 1933, in London, England, he brought quiet authority and remarkable versatility to every role, whether wearing a police uniform or appearing as a government official. His reliable performances reflected the experience of one of Britain's busiest character actors and strengthened the realism that defined the series. Sadly, Pat Gorman passed away on October 9, 2018, at the age of 85 in Ruislip, London, following a short but serious illness. He spent his final days surrounded by his wife, Vera, and their daughter, Jackie. His passing marked the end of a career that had quietly entertained audiences for more than 5 decades. His remarkable journey, however, had always been built on consistency rather than celebrity. Gorman became one of the most familiar faces in British television by appearing in well over 100 episodes of Doctor Who. His long career also included appearances in classics such as Blake's 7, Minder, The Bill, and the James Bond film The World Is Not Enough, 1999, making him a familiar presence across British television for more than 5 decades. Though he rarely played leading roles, directors valued his professionalism and versatility, qualities that quietly earned him lasting respect from colleagues and generations of viewers alike. Nadim Sawalha as Doyle, a composed and influential Middle Eastern official in The Professionals, was played by Nadim Sawalha. Born on September 9, 1933, in Madaba, Jordan, Nadim Sawalha was 44 years old when he brought quiet authority, intelligence, and diplomatic confidence that made the character feel believable and memorable despite limited screen time. His performance reflected the versatility that would make him one of the most respected Arab-born actors working in British television. As of 2026, Nadim Sawalha is 92 years old and continues to be admired for a career spanning more than 6 decades. Beyond the professionals, he appeared in 2 James Bond films, The Spy Who Loved Me, 1977, and The Living Daylights, 1987, before winning the Best Actor award at the Dubai International Film Festival for Captain Abu Raid, 2007. Although advancing age has limited his public appearances, he remains surrounded by the love of his wife, Roberta Lane, after more than 60 years of marriage, and their daughters, including actresses Nadia and Julia Sawalha. The greatest challenge of his later years has been declining health rather than professional setbacks. Living with high blood pressure and serious heart-related conditions, he now relies largely on a wheelchair as mobility has become increasingly difficult. Yet despite those physical limitations, Sawalha's remarkable legacy continues to inspire through productions such as Mind Your Language, Doctor Who, and the James Bond franchise, establishing him as one of the pioneering Middle Eastern actors in British film and television. Pamela Stevenson as Nurse Emma Boulding, coming to Pamela Stevenson, who portrayed Nurse Emma Boulding when she was just 29 years old. Born on December 4, 1949 in Takapuna, New Zealand, she brought intelligence, confidence, and natural charisma that made each appearance memorable despite her limited screen time. The role became another stepping stone in a career that would soon make her one of Britain's best-known comedy performers. As of 2026, Pamela Stevenson is 77 years old and has built an extraordinary career far beyond acting. After achieving fame through Not the 9 O'Clock News, she later earned recognition as a clinical psychologist, best-selling author, and broadcaster. Today, she lives a quieter life while continuing to support her husband, Sir Billy Connolly, whom she married in 1989, as he battles Parkinson's disease and prostate cancer. Her greatest challenge in recent years has come not from her own career, but from the responsibility of caring for the person closest to her. Stevenson has spoken openly about balancing family life while supporting Connolly through years of serious health problems, all while remaining close to their 3 daughters. At the same time, she has acknowledged experiencing the natural memory changes that often accompany aging, yet continues to write, speak publicly, and advocate for mental health. Her remarkable journey from comedian to respected psychologist has become just as inspiring as her success on television, proving that her impact extends far beyond the entertainment industry. Steve Alder as Murphy. Now, we have Steve Alder, who portrayed Murphy in The Professionals while still in his late 20s during the series' original run. Born on January 28, 1950, in Leighton, London, England, he brought a calm, practical toughness that suited the world of CI5 agents and dangerous assignments. Though his screen time was limited, his performance reflected the steady reliability that made him a believable part of the show's gritty action atmosphere. Sadly, Steve Alder passed away in March 1997 at just 47 years old after suffering an intestinal hemorrhage. His death came far too early, cutting short the life of an actor who had built a quiet but respectable career in British television. The sudden nature of his passing made it especially heartbreaking for those who remembered him as one of the familiar supporting faces of the era. As his life ended unexpectedly young, Alder left behind a career defined by modest but memorable screen work. Beyond The Professionals, he appeared in productions such as Worlds Beyond, 1986, and Spender, 1991, showing his ability to fit naturally into drama, mystery, and crime television. He was also married to singer and television presenter Aisha Brau in 1974, though the marriage later ended in divorce. Today, his performances remain a quiet reminder of the working actors who helped give classic British television its realism, texture, and lasting appeal. Sally Harrison as Jo. Sally Harrison portrayed Jo, a resourceful undercover operative with confidence behind the wheel and in dangerous situations in The Professionals when she was 25 years old. Born around 1951, she brought poise, determination, and natural screen presence that made the role feel authentic. Her performance added energy and realism to the series, proving that even supporting characters could leave a lasting impression. As of 2026, Sally Harrison is believed to be around 74 years old and has long since retired from the entertainment industry. She has chosen to live a private life away from public attention, focusing on her family and enjoying a peaceful retirement. However, we always remember her appeared in popular British crime dramas, including The Sweeney. In recent years, she has dealt with chronic respiratory problems that become particularly difficult during seasonal weather changes, requiring ongoing medical care. Despite of it, fans continue to remember her work not only in The Professionals, but also in productions such as Against the Crowd, 1975, and Now the Screaming Starts, 1973, and A Nightingale Sang in Berkeley Square, 1980. She left acting many years ago. Those performances remain a lasting reminder of her quiet but valuable contribution to British film and television. Frank Jarvis as Patterson. Coming to Frank Jarvis, who portrayed Patterson, the seasoned criminal whose calm demeanor, sharp instincts, and rugged, no-nonsense appearance made him a believable threat in The Professionals, at 36 years old when he appeared in the series in 1978. Born on May 13, 1941, in Stockton-on-Tees, County Durham, England, he brought a tough, understated realism that perfectly suited the show's gritty world of crime and espionage. Though his screen time was limited, his performance reflected the quiet reliability that made him a familiar face across British film and television. Sadly, Frank Jarvis passed away on September 15, 2010, at the age of 69 in London after a prolonged battle with a serious illness that gradually led to multiple organ failure. His final years were marked by declining health and increasing physical exhaustion, bringing a quiet end to a career that had spanned more than 4 decades. He was survived by family, friends, and many colleagues who remembered him for both his professionalism and kindness. As his health steadily declined, Jarvis looked back on a career built through consistency rather than celebrity. He became best known for appearing alongside Michael Caine in the classic crime film The Italian Job, 1969, while also earning recognition in acclaimed productions such as A Bridge Too Far, 1977, and The Wednesday Play. Although his marriage to Christine Murphy ended in divorce after more than 20 years together, he continued working whenever his health allowed. Today, his performances remain a lasting reminder of the dependable character actors whose contributions helped shape some of Britain's most memorable films and television dramas. Diana Weston as Ruth. Diana Weston portrayed Ruth, a confident and resourceful CI5 assistant who briefly supported the agency's operations in The Professionals when she was 26 years old. Born on November 13, 1953, in Toronto, Canada, she brought intelligence, elegance, and quiet confidence that fit naturally into the fast-paced world of CI5. Although her role was brief, it became one of the early steps in a television career that would span more than 5 decades. As of 2026, Diana Weston is 73 years old and continues to be remembered as one of Britain's most familiar television actresses. She achieved her greatest success as Caroline in the hit ITV sitcom The Upper Hand, 1990 to 1996, while also appearing in popular series including Jonathan Creek, My Family, Emmerdale, and New Tricks. Though she has taken fewer roles in recent years, her long career remains widely respected by British audiences. Away from the cameras, Weston's greatest personal challenge came through heartbreak rather than professional setbacks. She spent many years in a relationship with actor Robert Lindsay, and together they welcomed their daughter, Sydney, in 1988. Their relationship eventually ended after Lindsay left her for actress and presenter Rosemary Ford, a deeply public separation that attracted considerable media attention. Despite the emotional blow, Weston quietly rebuilt her life and career, continuing to appear in television dramas and comedies with the professionalism that has defined her work for decades. Henney as Benny Marsh. At 43 years old, Henney portrayed Benny Marsh, the hardened career criminal whose rugged face, powerful build, and intimidating no-nonsense attitude made him a formidable opponent for CI5 in the professionals in 1978. Born on July 24, 1935 in Liverpool, England, he brought a gritty realism and commanding screen presence that made the character feel genuinely dangerous. Though he appeared in only 2 episodes, the role reflected the authenticity that became a hallmark of Britain's classic crime dramas. Sadly, Henney passed away on January 14, 2019, at the age of 83, after his health gradually declined in his later years. Alongside the physical challenges of aging, he reportedly struggled with worsening mental well-being and the burden of several chronic illnesses, quietly stepping away from public life before passing away peacefully. His death marked the end of a career that had stretched across stage, film, and television for more than 5 decades. As the years passed, Henney became known as one of Britain's most dependable character actors, rather than a traditional leading man. He earned his greatest recognition for playing the ruthless Charlie Venner opposite Dustin Hoffman in Sam Peckinpah's controversial classic Straw Dogs, 1971, while also appearing in popular television series such as The Sweeney, Heartbeat, and Wings. After serving in the British Army and graduating from RADA in 1965, he built a reputation for portraying hard-edged, authoritative figures with remarkable authenticity. Today, his performances remain an enduring part of Britain's rich television and film legacy. John Castle as Peter Crabb. Peter Crabb, the cold, impeccably dressed professional hitman whose calm demeanor, sharp intelligence, and calculating precision made him one of CI5's most dangerous adversaries, was played by John Castle. Born on January 14, 1940 in Croydon, England, he was 38 years old and brought intelligence, quiet intensity, and remarkable versatility that made the character both sophisticated and menacing. His performance demonstrated the range that had already established him as one of Britain's most respected classical actors. As of 2026, John Castle is 86 years old and has largely stepped away from acting after a career spanning more than 6 decades. Best known for acclaimed performances in The Lion in Winter, 1968, Blow Up, 1966, I, Claudius, 1976, and RoboCop 3, 1993, he remains admired for his distinguished work on both stage and screen. In recent years, however, he has faced the emotional burden of losing his beloved wife, writer Maggie Wadey, while also coping with chronic sciatica and the physical challenges that come with advanced age. Even through those deeply personal hardships, Castle's remarkable body of work has continued to define his legacy. His acclaimed performance alongside Peter O'Toole and Katharine Hepburn in The Lion in Winter established him as one of Britain's finest dramatic actors, while later appearances in Sherlock Holmes, A Murder is Announced, and numerous Royal Shakespeare Company productions showcased his extraordinary versatility. Surrounded by the support of his family, he now lives a quieter life focused on his health, leaving behind a career that has earned lasting respect from audiences and fellow actors alike. Alan McNaughtan as Henry Laughlin. Now, we have Alan McNaughtan, who portrayed Henry Laughlin, the impeccably dressed senior intelligence official whose calm authority, piercing gaze, and composed manner commanded instant respect, at 58 years old when The Professionals aired in 1978. Born on March 4, 1920, in Bearsden, Dunbartonshire, Scotland, he gave the character a refined sophistication and quiet confidence that made him stand out among the series' government figures. Even with only 2 appearances, the role further showcased the remarkable screen presence that had already established him as one of Britain's finest classical actors. Sadly, Alan McNaughtan passed away on August 29, 2002, at the age of 82 after a long battle with lung cancer. As the disease progressed, Breathing became increasingly difficult, forcing him away from the profession he had devoted nearly 6 decades to. His death marked the end of a distinguished career that earned admiration across theater, television, and film. Even as his health declined, McNaughtan's legacy continued to grow through the remarkable body of work he left behind. A RADA graduate who won the prestigious Bancroft Gold Medal in 1940, he became a familiar face in acclaimed productions including The Sandbaggers, Shadowlands, Patton, 1970, Victim, 1961, and Kavanaugh QC. His piercing screen presence often led to memorable villainous roles, while his acclaimed performances with the National Theatre established him as one of the most respected character actors of his generation. Today, audiences continue to remember him as a performer whose elegance and professionalism elevated every production he appeared in. Johnny Shannon as Charlie Turkle. Johnny Shannon portrayed Charlie Turkle, the hard-nosed London gangster whose stocky build, weathered face, and intimidating streetwise attitude made him one of the series' most believable underworld criminals when he was 46 years old in 1978. Born on July 29, 1932, in Lambeth, South London, England, he brought a rough-edged authenticity and natural toughness that made the character feel genuinely believable. Although he appeared in only 2 episodes, the role perfectly complemented the gritty realism of the series and further cemented his reputation as one of British television's most convincing crime actors. Sadly, Johnny Shannon passed away on March 17, 2017, at the age of 84 in Lambeth, London. His final years were marked by declining health that gradually pulled him away from public life. His passing brought to a close a career that had made him one of Britain's most recognizable faces in crime dramas. Throughout that career, Shannon became best known for playing London gangsters and hardened criminals with remarkable conviction. His unforgettable performance as Harry Flowers alongside Mick Jagger in Performance, 1970, established him as a standout character actor, while appearances in Scotch on the Rocks, 1973, Beryl's Lot, 1973, and numerous television dramas reinforced that reputation. Rather than chasing leading roles, he built a lasting legacy through authenticity, leaving behind performances that continue to define the gritty style of classic British crime cinema and television. So, after more than 6 decades, which Route 66 cast member changed the most, or whose story surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this Route 66, 1960 to 1964, cast, then and now update, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more classic TV reunions and unforgettable Hollywood stories.